Hey there, how's it going, people? I'm just driving towards Christchurch on this very, very rainy day from North Canterbury. I just watched a video of Simon O'Connor on Facebook Live. Simon O'Connor is a national MP in New Zealand, and he's keep giving us updates on what the Labour Party is doing in New Zealand. The Labour Party don't believe in democracy anymore. They are rushing things through in Parliament where most of us don't even notice. The vast majority of us don't even notice. Many of us don't even want to notice, don't even want to know, not interested. They think whatever decisions they're going to make is not going to affect them. The Labour Party of New Zealand, in cahoots with radical extremists of Maoridom, corporate iwi, tribal leaders, and the Maori Party, and the Greens. They're basically colluding together to hand over all things water. All things water. Everything that water touches, all the resources, all the infrastructure, hydropower, everything is going to be handed over to these very small group of super elite Maori, right at the very top of the Maori pyramid. And that's what's happening in New Zealand. That's what's happening in Parliament while no one's looking. Not even reported by the media. Media not even telling you about it. And if they do tell you about it, they support it. They actually support it. Handing over ownership of all things water to a very, very small group of radical extremists right at the very top of the Maori tree. And for why? Why? This is all based basically on race. They're handing over New Zealand's most precious resource that gives everything life on Earth to these extremists, and they're laughing at us. These extremists are laughing at not only the government, they're laughing at the whole of New Zealand. They are laughing because they know the vast majority of New Zealand, 85% at least, are as stupid as barn doors. And they say, oh, it'll be okay. She'll be right. Nothing's going to come of it. What can go wrong? It's water. Giving ownership of water, everything water in New Zealand. And the oceans to 50 miles out. 50 miles. 80 kilometres out all around New Zealand to these corporate Maori. What can go wrong? And why? Because John Key of National, 2010, a national, would you believe, Prime Minister, let Peter Sharples fly to New York, United Nations, to sign the United Nations Declaration on the Rights of Indigenous People. John Key said then, and I remember him saying it, oh, it's nothing to worry about. Don't worry about it, nothing, nothing. This is what's causing now. What an act of betrayal that was by a national Prime Minister. No wonder he lives in Australia. Lives in Sydney apparently. This country, honestly, New Zealand, is heading towards disaster. And I just find it mind-boggling that most people refuse to see it. And that's the media's fault, basically. Willie Jackson stood up in Parliament just the other day. I watched it live. Stood up in Parliament and said, I'm going to give $360 million to TVNZ and Radio New Zealand for them to merge. Because they got to compete with Netflix. 360 million taxpayers' dollars are going to go to TVNZ and Radio New Zealand. Just like that. 360 million. And you know what this is about? This is buying the media. Buying TVNZ, which is our biggest news corporation, I suppose. News outlet. Radio New Zealand as well, big. He's buying their compliance to promote Hey Pua Pua, Three Waters and co-governance. That is what he's doing with your taxpayers' money. That's what's happening here. And he's saying it's to compete with Netflix. Yes, of course it is, Willie. And people buy this. The media buy this. The media, oh yeah, isn't it marvellous? Well, they would say, because they're getting the money, aren't they? It's just incredible. It's absolutely incredible how, honestly, there should be massive protests. I believe in massive, massive protests now. I believe this is even worse now. Or as bad as when the people marched to Parliament last year. They should march on Parliament again in even bigger numbers. Bigger numbers. I'm not talking about one particular person ruling this. One particular person or group standing up in Parliament with an agenda. You've got to believe, honestly, if you go to Parliament, in ending this division, this apartheid, this giving Maori preferential treatment over everybody else. Because that's what it is. That's what Hey Pua Pua is. And Three Waters is basically giving all ownership of all water in New Zealand to a super elite. I get called all sorts, and you know, I've risked a lot, I've lost a lot. And but I still do what I do because I believe in it. People have said to me, why don't you just F off back home if you hate New Zealand so much? One woman said that to me last week. Why don't you F off back home if you hate New Zealand so much? Do you think I would be doing what I do if I hated New Zealand so much? Do you really believe that? Do you believe I do this? I say what I say because I hate New Zealand? I question the men of New Zealand who aren't saying anything. Why does it take me, yes, a few others, why does it take me to come from the UK? Okay, I've been here nearly 21 years. Okay, yeah, I'm doing it off my own back. But why am I saying what you should be saying? I wasn't even born here. I got 3 grandchildren that are born here. And yes, I can get on the plane and I can fly back to the UK if I wanted to. But I'd rather just stay here and fight it out. I don't know about Kiwi men. I mean, it seems the vast majority of them have lost their teeth. The media, the government, the school system, university system have done a marvellous job of emasculating men in New Zealand. Defanged them, took away their teeth. That's the way it seems to me. And then men, New Zealand men, would rather attack me. Even men with my skin colour would rather attack me because it's easier. I'm the road of least resistance. So attack me and say, F off home, you palm, effing palm. Go back home if you don't like it. I've heard this so many times. weak, limp-wristed. They don't understand. They just don't understand what's happening. I just can't fathom it. But anyway, Simon O'Connor, he's doing what he's doing, albeit in a politician kind of way. Not my style. I would say much more forthright, and maybe that's why a lot of people don't like me. It's not aggressive, it's passion, it's clear, it's concise, and I find what I say easy to understand. And I do think right now is the time for the biggest protests New Zealand has ever seen. Peaceful, of course, against this government. This government and a national government led by Chris Luxon have to be, well, this government has to go. Jacinda Ardern, I believe, I know it never happened, but in an ideal world, she should face charges for treason. Because these people aren't leaders. These people are taking orders from outside this country. Like Justin Trudeau, Macron, Rishi Rich, whatever they call him in UK, Boris Johnson, all of them. They've been taking orders for decades. All of them. They are not representative of the people who voted them in, allegedly. Voted them in. They are screwing their own nations on behalf of, and we'll zero it all the way in to probably Dr. Evil himself, Klaus Schwab. Maybe there's someone above him, I don't know. But he seems to be the face of all what's happening in the world right now. And he is controlling every leader in the world. He is telling them, and maybe one or two others, Bill Gates maybe, George Soros, he or they are telling our elected prime ministers and presidents exactly what to do in their nations. That is treason. So I'm for, yes, in New Zealand, I'm for protests in Wellington, protests in Christchurch, but Wellington's the big one. That's where Parliament is. We've got to make them know that this is just not happening. And I'll tell you what, what's wrong with the police in this country? Are they not seeing? Are they stupid? Policemen, individual policemen? Are they stupid? Are they just going to follow orders? The military, are they going to just follow orders? You know? What's wrong with people? What's wrong with these men who join the forces? Are they just complete unthinking beings? I will do exactly what Jacinda tells me. You are evil, you are a terrorist. If you protest outside Parliament, I will shoot you dead. Wonder what kind of home life these people have. Unthinking beings. Nothing upstairs, nothing. No critical thought in their head. They just see people as the great unwashed, dirty, filthy, unvaxxed, anti-government. It's anti-tyranny. This is anti-corrupt government. That's what this is. New Zealand is, honestly, we're on the news internationally. You must see this, you policemen, you military men. You must see this. Internationally, as a New Zealand's becoming a pariah state because of Jacinda Ardern and what she's doing. Okay, I think I've said enough. If anything happens in Wellington, I'll go up there, I will be there, and I will speak. And you know me, I'm not going to pull my punches. If I get arrested, if I get charged, then fuck them. It needs to be said. As far as I'm concerned, this country is still a free country. If they want to come and lock me up for my words and say my words of violence, again, fuck them. Because at some stage, unless they kill me in jail, I will get out of jail at some stage. These people have to pay a high price for what they've done to this country. A very high price. Every single one of them. This is Cross the Rubicon. Please like, leave a comment, subscribe to my channel, and share this video everywhere. See you later.